Hey, this is Marcus Washington, MTC Media here on campus of Georgetown. Of course, we had media availability today prior to Georgetown's matchup with Providence Wednesday night at Cap One Arena. Obviously, the Warriors are coming off a loss to Butler. I don't know if that coveted fifth spot in the Big East is available anymore for Georgetown, just because the Xavier has seemed to have taken over the inside track to that spot. But certainly Wednesday night is an important game, and we had a chance to speak with Coach Ed Cooley today in preparation.
All right, as promised, Marcus gets the first question.
Marcus, my man.
What have you seen that you would like to do better this time around from the first time you guys met?
Let's call it what it was. Our defense the last game was so bad it made me throw up all night. Obviously, Tommy going down and our rim protection wasn't elite. It's the most points we gave up this year. I thought our offense did a great job. With the adjustments we made, scoring 86 points and losing the game is just unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and we have to concentrate on getting stops. We have to concentrate on guarding the ball better. Again, don't know what we're going to have health-wise with Thomas and obviously being Monday morning right now with Thomas and Caleb. So, next man up, we're going to do a better job defending. Bottom line.
How's Jaden's health coming along?
It's coming along. I thought he made a big jump last game, for sure. Right? He's as healthy as he's been probably in about 7 weeks. And we're going to need him to be elite tomorrow, on Wednesday, in order for us to beat a Providence team that's playing really well.
I know you're saying that you don't know what it's going to look like health-wise.
I have no idea.
No idea. But with Thomas, not having him there, that feels like that disrupts things more for you guys than just about anybody else. Is that
I would say two key components there would probably be Thomas and Micah. It's for what they do for us offensively. I think they're more important on the other end of the floor, just because not many people are gifted that way. With length, strength, ability to slide their feet. Those two guys defensively are pretty damn good.
And the minutes that Jordan gave you the other night.
I thought Jordan gave us good minutes. He was next man up. I thought he was disruptive. But again, the physical mindset of our group wasn't there. Again, we were as soft as any team I've coached in a long time, and I was surprised by that. So I will be challenging the hell out of our guys the next 48 hours to put their bootstraps on. It'll be very, very, very physical practice over the next couple of days.
Speaking of physicality, do you think PC has stepped up their game in that regard?
I think Kim's done a great job defensively. They've had a lot of injuries. Many of us have had a lot of injuries. They've done a great job, right? The small ball game's going well. Mila's playing well. Oswin's playing well. Pierre is really the head of their the head of their attack. Him and Joseph's ability to score the ball and shoot the ball. I believe the last two games they've made 29 of 30 threes. They thrive off of threes and they thrive off of second shots, right? They have a lot of fluff action to get to their main action, and we got to do a good job with that. They've done a really, really good job adjusting with all the injuries that they've had.
When Pierre's rolling, they're rolling well, right?
Sure.
Is he kind of like a bench mark for them?
I would say that, but they've also won games where he hasn't played at his best. They've had a lot of different people step up. And again, we're going to have the same thing, especially with us being undermanned, right? You look at a lot of programs around the country, injuries is just crippling people's growth and development.
You guys have put in Austin Montgomery toward the tail end of a couple of games.
Sure.
In the last few weeks. What have you seen from him?
I see him every day in practice. He's part of what we call the pack, which is our scout team. And, he's one of our best athletes. He knows our system pretty well. I appreciate him able to come in and play 5 different positions. Austin Montgomery is somebody who a lot of walk-ons should really look at. He's athletic, he's tough, but he knows 5 different positions on the floor, and he's gained the trust of the staff and of his teammates. So if a walk-on wants an example of being ready and prepared for an opportunity, I think he's a poster child for that.
Individually, is he your most maybe vertically athletic guy?
He's up there. He's way up there. E.J. Fort, right? Peavy, Burks, he's right there with him.
Thank you.
I gotta run upstairs.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, revisiting the Butler loss, there was just defensively, Georgetown has been the best team in the Big East defensively, and it certainly did not show, giving up over 90 points. Coach Cooley had spoken about it after the Butler game. They scored enough points. You scored over 80 points in Big East, and that certainly should be a win. And they came up short in that one. And here is Coach Cooley. If you didn't get a chance to hear his post game after Butler, here it is.
Right. I'm going to let Coach Cooley open his statement, and then we'll move on to questions.
Yeah. Where do you begin with that horrendous defensive performance by my group? You know, I thought Butler played great and made some timely shots. I thought it was men amongst boys, you know, physically. They beat us at every position, 1 through 17 guys on the team. I thought they had good ball movement, but they drove the ball, and again, it was man amongst boys. We really showed our inexperience. Most of the time in the Big East, if you score 86 points, you're normally winning that by 15 or 20 points if you score 86 points in a game. So it's something that we'll get better at, but overall, very, very disappointed in our lack of chemistry defensively, our lack of toughness, and again, you got to give Butler a lot of credit. Brooks played well. Jack got him going early, made some timely shots in the ball screen. Thought they handled our pressure well. You know, we'll see if the health of my 2 freshmen, that definitely hurt us, not having Thomas, you know, not having him really hurt, especially with rim protection. But at the same time, we tell our guys, everybody got to be ready to play, right? You never know when opportunity is going to knock, and you don't need to say hello because it's your time out there. Some guys told me hello, but it wasn't the hello I was expecting. It was a soft hello. It was hello. So we'll adjust it. You know, tough games is tough to win on the road. It's tough to win on the road in our league. And you got to give, I thought Butler played great. Really, really well. Timely shots. They showed some toughness. They showed some grittiness. They showed some relentless pursuit to try to win. And definitely the crowd was a major factor today as, you know, another great Big East game.
Right here.
Coach, you mentioned the physicality that Butler plays with, and obviously that starts with Pierre Brooks and just the strength and the ways that we get to the paint. Just what did you see from him? Because it seemed like he was really able to get started early.
Well, there's no mistaking he's not out there to pass, right? Let's just call it what it is when you look at how many assists he has on the year. He's out there to do exactly what his coach needs him to do, is to be aggressive, score the ball. We went over that, and he just physically manhandled whoever was guarding him, other than Peavy. Peavy can't play 5 guys, right? Whomever we put Peavy on shuts their water off, completely shuts it off. So again, they went with some mismatches. I thought Coach did a good job putting them in position to drive it. I don't even know if they ran a play in the second half, right? And again, we were fouling, right? I don't know if we were fouling to the tune that we were, but you know, we have the best officials in the country, and they called what they saw. So you know, it was our lack of cohesion and toughness. That at the end of the day, that was not a team that I'm accustomed to coaching at all. We were as soft as pillows out there today.
Any update on Thomas's condition, or is it too early to tell?
It's too early. We'll see. Obviously, you know, that's a kid who can play through a lot. You know what I mean? And obviously, he is a major component for us on both sides of the ball. I mean, I think he played 10 or 11 minutes, and you know, he can score at any, you know, all 3 levels. So not having him really sets us back. And then obviously Caleb going down, another one of our really good freshmen, you know, getting hit in the head. So we had to shut him down. We'll see. You know, we don't know if he'll be available for Wednesday's game against Providence.
Coach, so this is Butler's 3rd game in a row, and I believe when you guys played them, they were in the midst of a 9-game losing streak. Just what have you noticed differently between this time you played them as opposed to last time?
Right, I would say their sense of urgency, right? I mean, they're one of the older teams in our league. You know, Screen, I think, was plus 22. You know, I don't even know if it was Brooks' game as much the impact that Screen had in the game, right? You know, his length in front of the rim, was able to finish. He drew a lot of fouls today. Brooks played great, don't get me wrong, but I thought Screen had much more of an impact in the game, and they made a couple of really timely shots and we were making a run. So, I mean, I think, you know, again, you can't Google experience, right? I mean, I got a bunch of young puppies out there, and they showed their veteran leadership. They showed their poise. They were really well coached, right? They got put in position to win the game, and they finished it.
And when you guys were trailing, you went to the press to kind of try to speed them up and turn them over. They had Landon Morris, kind of a secondary ball handler. Just how do you feel they navigated the press? Because that's something they struggled with at times this season.
You know, I think they navigated it enough, right? I thought they did a better job here than they did in D.C. But when you play at home, you're supposed to win at home. You know what I mean? Again, when you look at the games they had here against Connecticut, look at the game against Villanova, I mean, they're right there, right? I mean, they can easily have 3-4 more home wins. And, you know, sometimes you just don't get lucky. And, you know, today they put it all together. The last couple of games they put it together and showed some veteran leadership. And hopefully we can get that as the end of the season comes down.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
And the players also gave their insight on Providence. If you go back to the first game, Providence certainly dominated Georgetown on the boards. They dominated them physically. The Friars are coming off a big win over Villanova, where again, they out-physicaled Villanova. I thought that Villanova kind of backed down in that one. And here's what the players today that came for the interview, Michael Peavy, Jaden Epps, had to say about this upcoming matchup. So is there anything in particular that jumps out at you that you want to do better against Providence this time than last?
I feel like as a team, we got out-rebounded. They had a lot of offensive rebounds compared to us. So we just got to lock in on their key offensive rebounder and just box everybody out. Because when we get the rebound, when we push in transition, we have a lot of great offense.
They really played Villanova incredibly physical. They're a physical team. Just at this time of the year, how do you guys be sure that you match that physicality game after game after game?
I don't think it's just at this point in the season. I think it's been the whole Big East in general. It's been physical. So I think we know going into every game that it's going to be physical. We just got to take what we do in the weight room and put it out on the court.
How much has defense been talked about over the last 48 hours or so?
I mean, that's all we were harping on because I feel like our game against Butler was probably our worst defensive output of the season. So we just got to learn from our mistakes and show why we're a great defensive team against Providence.
Do you think some of that is simply just not being able to respond to not having Tommy out there?
Yeah, because we all know how great a defender Thomas is. He's a great rim protector, and when you lose a guy like that, it's hard. But as a team, we should be able to overcome those mistakes. But that just comes with time. So yeah.
Coming out of TCU, you had options, including professional basketball. Talk about your decision to come back to college, get better, and then go off to the pros next year.
It was just a decision me and my family made. We thought it was the best for me. I had another year to come back and improve on everything I need to improve on, so that when I get to the next level, I can play right away or be successful at what I do.
Did coming back here, did that help you in the sense that they pretty much put the ball in your hands and let you do what you do?
Yeah, Coach Cooley told me I was going to have the opportunity. It wasn't like he said I'm going to have the ball in my hands. But I think that's just the work I put in with the coaching staff and the time in the film room and just me working on my body and just trusting my teammates and my teammates trusting me to make those plays.
In terms of PC, how are they trending now? How have they improved maybe since the last time you saw them?
Well, we all know about their injuries they've had as a team, but we've seen they're pushing through that. So yeah, they're a great team, and we just got to be ready for them.
Thank you. Thanks, Peavy.
Jaden, how much have you guys heard about, talked about defense here over the last few days?
We haven't heard the end of it. We know we got to be better. That was one of the worst defensive performances we had, and we know that as a team. So we just got to have a short memory and move on from here.
Physically, how are you doing since your return?
I'm doing well. I'm doing way better. Just trying to get myself back healthy and back 100%. I'm working every day, trying to get back to that. Just got to control what I can control and try to get back and help my team.
Is the process somewhat frustrating in the sense that you know what you're capable of doing, but maybe physically haven't been able to do it?
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, I just got to try to control what I can control, come to work every day, and do what I can do to try to get back to myself.
How do y'all control PC?
Just follow the game plan, follow what coach tells us to do, follow our principles that we've been doing all year. We got to be much better defensively. We've been taking a step back, but we got to kind of move back in the right direction where we know we can be at.
What's the process been like trying to get back into a rhythm? I mean, you're a shooter and you just miss these pockets of times. Just what's the process of kind of getting back to you being you?
It's just getting back in the gym, getting game reps, practicing. The main thing I'm big on is reps. Getting reps in practice, trying to be in practice as much as possible. Getting in the gym, getting shots up, getting game reps, and just staying sharp, watching film, and doing all the things that you used to doing to get back to the same routine.
Was there anything in particular that Butler did differently that kind of caused some of the issues?
I wouldn't say they did anything differently. I would just say we weren't dialed in. We were dialed into our principles, dialed into what we were supposed to do. Mano a mano, we didn't guard the ball well, and it was all of us. So we just got to lock in, and we got to be better next time.
Prior to the game, did you sense a little lack of locking in? Did you sense that was going to happen prior to the game?
I wouldn't say I sensed the lack of locking in before the game. I would say we pretty much came with energy. We came how we were supposed to come. They were just a better team that day. And we got to live with that, and we got to bounce back.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me for the latest Georgetown coverage as we look forward to the Providence game. Stay with MTC Media. Follow us everywhere on all social media for your latest and your best Georgetown coverage.